This week on Mr. Inappropriate, one rogue sociologist South Belfast's look into the great unknown hazelnut chocolate mountains. We talked about people having novelty deaths. There was a storm in Ireland one of the other years, and there was a guy who got killed because he was out playing with a chainsaw during the storm. There's some lads in life who, no matter no one can tell them what to do. They will always do differently. You tell them don't cross the road, they'll run. No one's ever stopped that guy. He said to himself, I've been out there every day with my chainsaw cutting down trees, and I will not be stopped by a little bit of wind. It's not even a storm, playing with a chainsaw in the middle of a hurricane. It's a novelty death. It's people doing things like abseiling, bungee jumping, and marathons. Do you know what I mean? And you die. Why'd you do it? So what a novelty, silly way to go. You had it all, and you risked it. You couldn't just go for a jog. You have to go for 20 miles. You couldn't just watch everyone else skydive. You had to try it, and you zipped open your bag on the way down and saw there was nothing but spoons in there. And you thought, well, do you know what I mean? That guy recently who walked into the Saudi embassy, journalist who walked into the Saudi embassy after giving grief to Prince Salman and giving stacks of grief, he walked straight into the Saudi embassy, and you're like, man, what are you doing? That's such a stupid way to go. I think he committed suicide to take down the House of Saud, because now it's a big national fiasco. Everyone's eyes on the war in Yemen. I have a conspiracy theory that he committed suicide to take down the House of Saud. The news must have knew that this was a funny situation. It was some of the best spy shit. You know what I mean? Like, that was like, the Saudis have the news reported it as the Saudis have arrested 18 men, even though only 15 men were seen leaving the Saudi embassy and escaping on a plane back to Saudi. They've just found 18 poor bastards and put them in jail, right? And they're probably going to release them next week. We don't know. And they're saying a fist fight broke out in the embassy. No, yeah. Is that double denim you're wearing? Denim. Double denim. Alright, yeah, whatever the fuck. Let me in your consulate. Is that Brill cream I see in your hair? What is this? Elvis? It's like, no more Brill cream anymore. Alright then, mate, what the fuck, you starting? I'll take on all 17 of yous with my fucking journalist powers. I was working at a festival, and if you're directing traffic at a festival, you want to be one of the ones that just wave along. You don't want to be at the front. But I was hungover and getting them drink sweats, and I was right at the front, and I was directing people where to park, and not in this lane but in that lane. And everyone wanted to go down the lane. I was to tell them, no, go up there, find a parking space. And so as the hours went on, I was directing people and swinging my hands back and forward, and like, so it'd been like a French traffic cop from the 90s. And just, doing a faculté, avant, and doing all these novelty hand gestures, to pass the time. And there was a wee angry middle-aged man in a can in this small wee van, and look of anger in his eyes. And I was waving him like, go sideways, mate, go sideways up into the car park. And he just pointed forward, and he was accelerating, and he just pointed forward, and I had to fucking jump out of his way as he speeded through to the crew parking. I mean, he's probably still travelling now. There's some lads, it's like a hurricane. You can't argue with a hurricane. Some people are a force of nature, and that guy, no one's ever disagreed with that man before. Viking river burial cruises. Say you hate your relatives. You don't leave them a penny. You want your last check in this world to bounce. Take a Viking river burial cruise. You can stay on till you drop. Bobbing around the sea doesn't sound that bad to me. You can ring the captain any time you like, even when it's not important. The captain will always listen to you, not like your relative. There's some posh ways of dying. Like, for example, even though this woman didn't die, I think it's critical we talk about this. A woman has lost an eye in a golf tournament. She was standing watching golf Right? Any sport sponsored by Rolex tends to be for pricks. I'm sorry. Anyone that can afford a Rolex, well, anyone that would buy a Rolex, that would want to be seen wearing a Rolex, highly questioned. But sports, water polo, Formula One, tennis, golf, right? She was standing watching a good spot of golf, and the golfer hit the ball, and it came and it whammed her right in the eye, and the guy was upset and crying and being all like, I just don't know what I got in the game for. I knew the risks. I'm like, how the fuck did you lose your eye at a golf game? Do you know what I mean? And she was there with an eye patch on and television, talking about the moment. And they had a program. They had in the news, the Euro News, they had a story about Syria, and the second story, they had a white woman who lost an eye by being front row of a golf tournament. And that's one of the poshest centuries. It's like, how did Carol lose her eye? We'll never believe it. She managed to squeeze her way to the front of the Abu Dhabi Open. She got Abu Dhabi right in the eye. But also these people who die climbing Everest, no sympathy at all. I don't give a fuck if you die climbing Everest. What I care about is the shepherds, what you've paid £2 an hour to climb your ship with you and take your stuff, or working sort of like mules behind you. I care about them, but if you choose, say I've taken over the world I'm now a head surgeon, I've defeated everything I can in the world of study, I've got a family, a big bank account, there's no frills for me anymore, I need to win more, I've got a big car, I need to win, my next battle is going to be against Mother Nature herself. Right? I'll show her what for with my fancy climbing gear. And they go up Everest, and some of them freeze. And then there's these programs saying what heroes they were, and you're like, what? Who thinks they're a hero? And everyone's like, well, why don't you push yourself, Nicholas? And then maybe one day you could climb a mountain. Well, it's a wee bit of a social disease, climbing a mountain. It's like the most useless thing you could bloody well do is climb a mountain. Today's question and answer is, what is the dead centre of town? Is it the City Hall? Is it the library? Or is it the graveyard? The winner gets a free key to the city. It's a novelty-sized key that can open any door of the city. What's that you got in your hand, Sherpa Nicholas? Oh, I've never seen a frozen solid. I've never seen a wallet in a block of ice before. It's, oh, well, yeah. You wouldn't want to waste all that money up the top of that mountain. It's like, what's that you got in your legs there, Nick? Oh, but I've got some expensive climbing gear. You wouldn't want to waste good expensive climbing gear at the top of the mountain. Just like the other side of it. The other side of it is people, those people who were the first Formula One drivers, them eccentric rich people. And the first Formula One drivers had saws to cut themselves loose for whenever they inevitably crashed. These people have moustaches, full tweed suits, and scarves going in the wind, and it's like making time and zipping about zipping about the Monte Carlo. And there was them people who died trying to break the speed limits. You're just like, mate, who gives a you decided to go and try and break the world speed limit. Do you know what I mean? That's a bit of a problem. Just like someone going to Everest, breaking the world speed limit it's not very necessary. Oh yes, now we have a Lamborghini that can go up to 300 miles an hour. Who fucking cares? Wow, all them people who lost their lives in the 19th century. It's like, and it's the Flying Wallace. This young upstart from Monte Carlo is fresh from the slopes of the Alps and is the fastest thing on two wheels. Don't go gently into the night. Rise like a roaring dawn and hold back the night, turn off the light, and let me see about your baby. Whenever I've been out walking, I always pass this graveyard called Friends Graveyard. What a horrible name for a graveyard. It's all like, this is where all your friends will be. And I was walking through it, and I tripped and fell on one of the graves, and my face right down into the moss. And then I looked up and I peeled the moss away, and I saw it was my own name, and I fell into the grave. Nah, only joking. But I was just thinking, imagine being knocked down by something like a smart car, something obnoxious like that. Do you know what I mean? So, if you're going to have to be knocked down by anything, you want to be knocked down by a proper, something class, like an Aston Martin. Not being knocked down by an annoying Japanese car, a motorbike engine that parks annoyingly sideways in front-facing parking spaces. It would be the worst thing ever. Belfast has a rival city called Lisburn, and last time I was in Lisburn, I saw a homeless person taking a piss on their main statue, and no one stopped them. Remember one time I fell asleep in the train and I woke up. I was in Lisburn. It's sort of like in The Simpsons, the way they have Shelbyville, their rival town. And I woke up in Lisburn. I was like, please don't leave me here. And the train driver was like, yeah, no, I'll let you go. He felt sorry for me and didn't want someone to have to be in Lisburn unless there was a good reason. It's free shopping streets that have, for legal reasons or whatever, been made into a city because they get more funding. So it's not even a real city. They borrowed a couple of districts from Belfast whenever they were due to, the judges were having to look round apparently, and they gave them back once it was made into a city. At one stage, it didn't even have a hotel. So I don't want to be buried in a Lisburn cemetery. Don't want to spend my life in that shit place. I don't want to be buried in a Lisburn cemetery. Don't want to spend my eternity in that place. And you could always annoy people from West Belfast who are from the further regions of the West Belfast galaxy, and say, you're not from West Belfast at all, mate, you're from North Lisburn. They're like, I am not from North Lisburn. Because there's no street cred of being from North Lisburn. Anyway, I sort of think how it would go down. Either someone would be like, you couldn't hold the suitcase for me, and I'd be all like, all right, and then he'd just run off, and I'd hear the ticking in the suitcase and be like, oh, for God's sake, what are the odds? It would be doing someone a favour. It would be like, that's what you'd be, you'd by helping an old lady across, something that you thought, well, do I really have time? Oh, right, yeah, yes, well, I'll hold the suitcase for you. Or you'd be like, I've just got my book published, and then a bolt of lightning would strike you. Or a comet would hit the earth, just as soon as... I sometimes get this whenever a girl's said yes or something to me, or I get something published or something, I'm all like, what's going to come at me? Why is all this good luck happening to me? Is there some kind of, I'm going to fall down a grating here, or is there something? Alright, well, that's the end of the show, and hope you enjoyed it. Be back next week. Happy Halloween.